Avoiding premarital sex. Whew, if that's still an option for you now. No going all the way, ika nga. Physically until he got married. No practicing before wedding night.
Umalis ka muna sa picture para hindi ako ma-confuse. Kasi baka sinusunod ko lang si Lord dahil gusto kita.
But he kept wondering if things would have been better if he was more prepared.
There was a lot of preparation for our wedding. And I just showed up. I did not do anything except to show up.
Hi, I'm Anthony Pangilinan.
And I'm Maricel Laxa-Pangilinan.
And welcome to our podcast, Marriage is a Marathon, inspired by our book, Marriage is a Marathon, same title.
Run it one step at a time.
We are now on our third episode and our topic is
Allow time for preparation.
Yon, marathon. Remember, we're forming the acrostic. So meron na tayong make a decision, and then we had allow time for preparation, which is our second. The first one was just an introduction.
Okay.
So, what does it take to prepare? If you fail to plan,
You plan to fail.
you got that. Sakto. So, importante yung preparation. So, let's start with having a vision. I don't know if you know this, or maybe you forgot. But when I was single pa po, okay, I was already in training.
Many moons.
And I had this session called Seasons of Life, where you divide the rest of your life into 4 seasons, right? So, inimagine ko ang bawat season. At nasa siguro mga fall yon or summer na I got married. You're supposed to visualize it. And I visualized it. I did. Visualize talaga. Alam mo na nakasunod doon? Welcoming my bride in a garden wedding atop one of the mountains in Metro Manila. I saw that. And it happened, di ba?
Yes.
Right?
So, be
I
careful
saw it.
what you plan for.
Kita-kita ko na morning garden wedding. And it did happen in San Mateo 30 plus years ago.
So, basically, there was a lot of preparation for our wedding. And I just showed up. I did not do anything except to show up.
Late pa. Late pa,
So,
2 oras ata.
If you were to ask
Ano ba
me,
yun?
for any bride, I would really recommend that you just show up and leave all the organizing to somebody else who's good at it.
Okay.
In our case, that wasn't me. And those times, wala pa pong mga wedding coordinators.
But that doesn't apply to marathons, pwede ba? You don't just show up in a marathon, di ba? Otherwise, starting
No, wait.
point ka lang.
I showed up because I was ready.
Nax.
I was
Yes.
prepared.
Okay, can we look at that acrostic PREP?
Okay.
So if you're going to prepare for a marathon, which you can apply to marriage actually, PREP. P is to plan. Plan for it, right? You have to plan the program. How's it going to happen? R is you have to ready your mind and your heart, because it's not just a physical thing, especially for marriage, diba? It's more than just the coming together of 2 individuals physically. And then, ito na, you have to endure the training.
Ay.
May mga anak na tayo no when we started running marathons, diba?
Yes.
And I will never forget those nights. It was raining outside. It was 9 o'clock, katutulog pa lang ng mga bata. And that was when I had to do my 10K or half marathon run again and again and again.
And I will never forget that time where I really had to do a long run, which was a 30-kilometer run, and it was raining outside, so I had to do it in the treadmill.
Well, you can't do it on your own, right? So we had partners. That's the last P, by the way. Partner your way to completion. So, sino yung mga earlier partners natin? We had,
Well, of course, Coach Rio.
yes,
De La
Coach Dan.
Cruz.
Isa pa yon.
Yes.
Joma. So, different coaches, for our different
Coach Annie De Leon
training
Brown.
requirements. And then we had, syempre, brands that helped us. Gatorade, thank you. Oh my God, Timex from the very start.
Rudy Project.
Siyempre, kailangan panggastos lalo na yung mga international marathons
We had
natin,
Zoot.
di ba?
We had dance bikes.
Wow.
Oh my goodness. I don't know how we could have done without Adidas.
Well, that's on the running side. On the marriage side, thank you to our partners in Artisan Touch, for example.
Word Community Church.
Christ Commission Fellowship. I mean, just different people who come together in community to help you prepare for your run. Ito yung sinabi natin in our last episode. Kasi meron mga weddings nga that glorify but marriages that horrify. Kasi kulang nga ng preparation. You know, can I just say this? I must have attended all the singles retreats that our church and different churches offered, to us singles. So please, parents, it really helps to go to singles retreats, because one of the things that I picked up there that Maricel and I did was the need to come up with dating guidelines.
We even had a contract.
Diba? Natanda mo yun?
Yeah, we had our parents,
Can you
our
imagine?
mentors, our pastor sign it.
Dating guidelines. Tapos pumirma kami ni Maricel. Tapos pumirma mga parents natin, di ba? Ano ba yung isa doon na parati mong bina-violate? Do not go into the dark, di ba? Isa yun. Seriously, these things, these commitments really help. Actually, yung sinabi mo kanina, wala pa mga wedding
Coordinators.
pero meron tayong wedding committee. In fact, I wanted to surprise you guys. Look at
Anthony
this.
planned our whole
Okay.
wedding with a committee.
Look at this. Look.
It's a
Look,
remembrance
Mika.
from our wedding committee.
Look at that.
Luray-luray na yan.
Bench pa nga. Look. Tada! I survive. Tapos, nakasulat. Ano nakasulat mo sa imahan? Ha?
Yeah. The Pangilinan Laxa Nuptials.
Yun.
PLN Wedding Committee member.
33 years ago. So, meron na kaming wedding committee. In fact, the one who headed it is General Peter Sochanko.
Oo nga. He
Now,
was
in
head
the
of
Army.
security.
Siya ang head of security. Pero sino yung ating pinaka-coordinator nun? I don't even remember. Who headed our wedding committee?
Wasn't it
Coordinator.
Orpa?
I think it was, no?
The procession.
Maraming salamat. Okay. Solana, could you get these, please? This is the favorite naman of Solana to sleep with. So, sobrang komportable raw. And on wedding day, we saw the fruits also of how our parents prepared. Right?
Yes.
I want to thank my dad again in heaven, because doon kami kinasal sa San Mateo. He actually had the property before where, what's this place now that stands there?
Timberland.
Where the Timberland
Clubhouse
now sits. That was my dad's before. At siya ang nag-level noon para meron kaming lugar kung saan ma-house ang 800 guests na inimbita natin, di ba? Wow! But you don't just level, of course, the property.
You have to beautify
You have
it.
to beautify. So thank you to
To my mom. Thank
Siya
you to
ang
my mom
landscape
for
namin.
planting every single beautiful flower there on top of the San Mateo
so they
Mountains.
literally moved heaven and earth to help us prepare for that wedding. Well,
Well,
ikaw,
ang hindi lang natin na prepare is yung pag-check ng kotse, yung bridal car.
kasi papunta tayo sa
So,
Shangri-La
tapos na.
noon. Shangri-La, di ba?
Tapos na yung wedding, papunta
Oo.
tayo sa honeymoon natin sa Shangri-La.
Ang ganda-ganda
Tapos,
ng Benz natin.
nasira yung
Bumigay
aircon.
yung aircon. So, isang oras tayong pinagpapawisan. Oh my gosh, on the way! But otherwise, I think people had a great time. Although it rained the night before.
Oh my
Right.
gosh, everybody's shoes were full of mud.
Yes. And I want to thank my siblings who tried very hard to sing in our wedding, but iba't ibang pitch, iba't ibang. But, alam mo ba? We had friends already who helped us entertain. That was the first time in public after me that the song I Will Be Here was sung.
Wow.
Do you remember?
Yes.
Yes.
And also,
And
Gary
who sang
was
it?
the one.
No, that wasn't Gary.
Oh,
Who sang?
Martin.
Martin Rivera sang I Will Be Here for the first time in a public event. Kasi I did it on TV. Si Martin agreed to sing it.
Wow.
Diba? So, thank you, Martin. Long time ago. And then, yung sinasabi
Our
mo.
wedding march.
Oh, gosh. The wedding march that was prepared by Gary V.
Yes.
Right? Oh, my God. The most beautiful wedding march. Actually, hindi lang wedding march. Merong pang vows.
Yeah, so the whole wedding
No, di ba? Every
had
portion, merong
some sort
music
of
by Gary
music.
V.
Yes.
Tapos nandun siya, live niyang
And it's the
ginagawa.
same one used in Ella's wedding.
Yeah, the same thing. The same,
So when our eldest got married, she also used the same music.
which was never released. Okay, hindi pa siya na-release ni Gary V. I know he's planning to, but it did come out in our wedding and also in Ella's wedding. So, importante talaga that you get people part of your preparation, right? It takes a village to raise a child. It takes a village to marry, right? This lady. An entire village had to be behind our wedding. By the way,
Wait, we had ninongs and ninangs.
oo nga. Oh my gosh.
Parang how many?
Sina
12?
Vilma, Sharon, Roel, Mikey, just different
Tito
people.
Pitoy.
Oh my gosh. Pitoy Moreno, thank you so much also in heaven because he was the one who, look at this, he was the one who made Maricel's wedding gown. He was the one who made my mother's wedding gown. And then Raho, your friend and classmate, Laurel, was the one who took your gown and created Ella's wedding gown, right? In honor of Pitoy Moreno.
Yes, that's right.
Meron ka pa bang natatandaang preparation requirement tayo before we got married? Or anything that strikes you? Ako,
Well,
meron pa akong isa
our
dito.
pre-marriage counseling,
Oh my gosh. That was tough.
6 months yon, and the goal was for us to separate. And
Yun ang
if-
sinabi nung mentors natin, di ba?
yes, and
We
if they
will do
succeeded,
everything
yes,
to make sure that you decide not to marry each other. We will give you all the reasons. Grabe mag-counseling, no? All the reasons not to marry. And if after our counseling, you still want to marry, then we will bless it. Right? And today, that couple is no longer married. Aray, sila yung nahiwalay. Oh my gosh. Which means, guard up, guys. It can happen to anybody. But we thank them just the same for helping us begin ours. There's something I want to read, actually. Ito yung kay Dwight. This one inspired me. Okay? In spite of how you wanted to be close to me, medyo na iwasan kita dahil dito. Okay? We had a mentor, his name's Dwight Hill. And we attended a seminar. Tama?
a retreat.
Retreat in Tagaytay before we decided to tie the knot, right? So I just want to read his testimony. On staying pure, okay? On staying pure or avoiding premarital sex. Whew, if that's still an option for you now. A testimony from a longtime mentor, Dwight Hill. Dwight decided that he was going to marry a virgin. Okay, siya ang virgin dapat, sabi niya. No, not a demand upon his future spouse, but upon himself. No going all the way, ika nga. Physically until he got married. No practicing before wedding night. His honeymoon was a disaster. For over a decade, he kept asking himself if it was worth it. He had an amazing marriage, and he knew that being faithful to his wife, Ruth, was largely impacted by their premarital celibacy. But he kept wondering if things would have been better if he was more prepared. In other words, praktisado with Ruth on wedding night. It was about 13 years or so after that he had his long-standing questions, 13 years after, that this answer came and his doubt was cast out. This was when his then teenage son came to him one night and asked him, "Dad, is it worth it? Everyone in school is doing it. You're the only one I know who didn't do it. And if you tell me it is worth it, I will keep myself from doing it too for my future wife." Dwight shared that testimony in a retreat Maricel and I attended after separating for nearly 3 months to truly reflect on our relationship. That testimony strengthened my resolve, and I too, without regret, got married to Maricel while still a virgin. Uy. Talk about the 3 months before we met again.
So
Ba't ba tayo naghiwalay?
you admitted you liked me,
Oh, did I?
and I said I liked you back,
Pero,
but you knew that I was still new in my relationship with the Lord. So you wanted me to have time to really assess where my faith is and who my God is. So you decided,
alis muna ako sa picture.
yes, umalis ka muna sa picture para hindi ako ma-confuse. Kasi baka sinusunod ko lang si Lord dahil gusto kita.
Okay.
So we decided we will not see each other for 3 months, but instead we will write each other and send a letter through mail, snail mail.
Ano ka, page ka ng page nun eh.
Oh, pero may pager din nun. And I would page you, I would be so mad at you because I felt you were leading me on.
Oh, galit na galit siya nun. Pero hindi. We held on. We didn't come together until that retreat. And then after that retreat, that's when
You asked me to be your wife.
we decided. Wow. On the counseling side, I think people want to find out a little more. Han, if there's anything
Pero
that
hindi
you...
natin kinuwento ano yung mga details ng dating guidelines.
Hindi ko na matandaan eh. Basta ang alam ko lang, bawal pumunta sa madilim na lugar na you kept on violating.
Grabe. Ako talaga.
Pero, balikan natin yung counseling unless you want to talk about the guidelines.
Okay.
If there's any specific time in counseling that you remember changed you or impacted you. I have a few, but I wanted to ask you first. Lahat ito in preparation for wedding night and marriage.
So our differences in how you were raised and how I was raised. You belong to a complete family and I was raised by a single mom. Malaking factor yun.
And so one of the things I realized in our counseling session was that just because we had a complete family, feeling ko okay na kami, di ba? Wala akong masyadong issue. Siya yung maraming issue. Siya yung may problema. Siya ang nangangailangan ng tulong, which I realized was so wrong, right? It was George who reminded us, right? In this one session, sabi niya, I think you were crying or something, and George said, Maricel's a mess, right? Diba? Tatanda mo yun? And we know she's a mess, Anthony, right? But my problem is not Maricel. My problem is you. You have no idea how much of a mess you are.
I remember vividly
Aray.
the words that he said. You package yourself so well, but deep inside, you're a rotten guy. Just like me.
Buti na lang sinabi niya yung just like me. And I know, do you know when he said that? That is the time na my hand was over your shoulder. And then in our counseling, every time you would say something I didn't like, gaganunin kita. Di ba?
Aray.
Tapos after a while, tumigil si George, sinitingnan yung kamay ko. What's happening, Anthony? But thank God we have people like George.
See, that's why you need mentors and counselors and therapists because you can make sumbong to them. And then, meron kayong kakampi.
It was in that one session when we were fighting the whole time. You were fighting me.
You're fighting
No,
me.
you were fighting me.
No, it was you who was fighting me.
Basta, mag-aaway kami, mag-isang oras na, tapos biglang may nangyaring maayos.
One beautiful moment. This was during a counseling session.
1 hour
So
yun,
we were
session.
actually fighting in front of our counselor.
Mga 55 minutes, ganyan. Tapos biglang may nangyaring maayos. Halimbawa, nag-sorry siya kasi siya naman talaga kadalasan na may kasalanan, di ba? Tapos pinatawad ko siya. Beautiful, di ba? Di ba? Beautiful. And so in 1 hour, 55 minutes, we're fighting, but in that 2-3 minutes, right, it worked. And then George said, that moment, Anthony Maricel, di ba? Capture that moment, memorize this moment, and multiply it because multiplied, this moment will define your marriage.
So,
Wow. Grabe.
moments
Multiplied.
multiplied become memories and
That define
milestones that
your marriage.
define your marriage.
So pag nag-aaway kayo, hindi kayo nag-iisa. Basta dun sa 365 days, nag-away kayo ng 364, okay lang basta yung one day, okay kayo. Diba?
Memorize that moment.
I-multiply nyo lang yun. May pag-asa pa.
What good happened there? What worked? And learn from that.
Larry Crabb reminds us we are all twisted image bearers. Woo!
In the
Diba?
presence of other twisted image bearers.
In the presence of an untwisted God.
Who is slowly making us straight.
Siya lang naman ang tuwid, di ba? And if we stick to Him, eventually we shall be straightened as well. I guess we want to wrap up this episode by one more reminder. Okay, just one more reminder. It's not the end. It's not the finish line. It's not the termination of the marathon, for example, that is really most important to God. When you really think about it, or even for us, what really transforms you is the preparation, right? It's not the race itself that's most important, pero yung 6 months before na magte-training ka, yun. What's more important is your transformation, right? It's not the termination, but the transformation. So, how are you being transformed even now in the process of this marriage? And how are you being transformed preparing for your marathon? That is key.
I love it. So, thank you so much for joining us here on Marriage is a Marathon, the podcast. Thank you so much, Mango, for our outfits.
Start planning, because if you fail to plan, you plan to
Fail.
God bless you. See you again in our next episodes.
Thank you for joining us for yet another episode of Marriage is a Marathon, the podcast. Run it one step at a time. Thank you so much, Mango, for our outfits for today.
For feedback and suggestions, please comment below. Follow us on our socials, Anthony Pangilinan and Mommy Maricel. See you next podcast. God bless.